Hello everyone. In this video, we are gonna go over some basic questions in linear graphs. Let's have a look at this one. Line K, it's about line K passes through the points 2, 5 and 6, 13. And what is the slope of line K? I'm pretty sure you'd remember the formula of slope. Slope is a rise over run. What does this mean? This means just rise over run means change in y divided by change in x. So we studied the visual representation of this one, like in the last video as well. Change in x basically mean x is here, y is here. So if you see one line graph, then you calculate the change in x from one point to the other point. Let's pick this one and this one. Then change in x, this is run, and then change in y, like how y rises between 2 points, and then this was rise and this was run. So in this case, change in y means 13 minus 5. And then change in x means 6 minus 2. So that's how we get 8 over 4, which is equal to 2. Next one, a line has a slope of 4. So now the slope is given and passes through the point 0 point minus 3. Which equation represents this line? In the last video, I mentioned that if you see an equation, let's say y equals mx plus n, and in this case, m means slope. M is the same as the slope, and then n means y-intercept. So when you see this one, a slope of 4, that basically means we know the equation looks like y equals 4x because the slope is 4, and then next to here we have n, and then if you have a careful look at this one, then this is actually y-intercept because x value is 0. But like even if it's not a y-intercept, like because it's a y-intercept, just so that's how we get y equals 4x minus 3. Excuse me. Because if you see this coordinate, like x value equals 0, then you get the y value that is minus 3. That basically means there's a y-intercept. That's the definition of y-intercept. Let's just assume, so like that's why the answer would be, where is it, A. But like let's assume like we are given the slope, like slope is 4, but the point was different. Let's say like it was 1, 2 or something. Then how do we find the n value? I will write down here y equals 4x plus n, and this line passes through, let's say 1, 2. Then you can just put these coordinates into this equation. So that basically means x equals 1. When x equals 1, y equals 2, like so if you put 1 into x, then we get 4 plus n. 4 times 1 equals 4. And then in that case, y equals 2. So if we take 4 away each side, then that's how we get, then like 4, they are cancelled, and then 2 minus 4 equals n, and we get n equals minus 2. Then that's how we get the equation would be y equals 4x minus 2. So like using the same technique, we can solve this problem as well. You put 0 into x, then this whole 4 times x will disappear because it's like 4 times 0, and then y equals minus 3 in that case, but y only like y and n, those two are left, so that's why y equals n and y equals minus 3, and that's how we get n equals minus 3. Okay, this is another form of equations. So far we only come across y equals mx plus n, this kind of equations. But yeah, actually this is just different form of this equation. But we have used this one because this is the easiest and simplest form when it comes to linear graphs, because it is really easy to see slope and y-intercept, and then by using those we usually plot graphs. So yeah, let's have a look at this one then. Let's get into this one. This question is about y-intercept. I already mentioned the definition of y-intercept in the last video, but actually y-intercept is the point where a line crosses the y-axis. I will give you one example. This one. Let's draw a Cartesian plane and x and y. Let's sketch a line graph. Let's like this, and then this point is called the y-intercept. But not only in line graphs, like if you just see like this kind of any random graph, when it crosses, where this graph crosses the y-axis, then this is also the y-intercept. Then the another question would be, how do we find y-intercept? And the y-intercept is really easy to find because you can just find the value of y when x equals 0. So put 0 into x, then probably you can find the value of y. Then that specific y value is the y-intercept. Let's have a look at this one. 3x plus 2y equals 12. So we are gonna put 0 into x, then this whole thing will be cancelled, and we only have 2y equals 12. If we divide it by 2, divide each side by 2, then we get y equals 6. Or if you remember this one, only this one, and then if you don't know like how to find the y-intercept like this, then you can just change this equation like this. Then we need to do minus 3x each side. So 2y, it becomes 2y equals 12 minus 3x. So change the order, minus 3x plus 12. And then divide each side by 2. Y equals minus 3 over 2x plus 6. Then we know this is the y-intercept. Yeah, so there are two ways, but the second way, I wouldn't really recommend this one because just because you don't need it. Maybe some other questions, like if the question asks the slope as well, then I would just use this technique because like it is really easy to see. But like if you want to find the y-intercept, then the form doesn't really matter. Just you have to find the y value when x equals 0. Line P is parallel to the line y equals 2x plus 5. Parallel means you have two lines has the same slope, has the same gradient. So for this line, we don't really need any other information. We only need the slope, in this case 2. So this information, line P is parallel to the line y equals 2x plus 5. That basically means line P has the slope of 5. Yeah, the slope of line P is just 5. Yeah, that's just this whole information. And passes through point 34. Yeah, we've done this before, like similar thing, like here. We knew the slope and then we knew one point, although like in this case, it was the y-intercept, so like it was way easier. But I also briefly mentioned like how do you find this y-intercept if we don't know the specific y-intercept, but we do know one point. So this is exactly the case. So line P has the slope of 5, so line P would be, the equation for line P would be like y equals 5x plus n. Wait, it's not 5, it's 2. Oh my gosh. 2, because I wrote 2 here. So 2x plus n, and then passes through 3.4. That basically means if you put 3 into x, then we get the y value, which is 4. So we are gonna just substitute those two numbers into those variables. And 4 equals 3 times 4 plus n. Then you get 12 plus n. So take 12 away to each side. Then it will be n equals minus 8. Okay, let's move on to the next question. When you first come across like this kind of like a long text question, then you might feel a bit overwhelmed, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. Let's have a look. A candle is 20 centimeter tall and burns at a constant rate of 2 centimeter per hour. Which equation gives the height h in centimeters? So h is one variable in this case. And then of the candle after t hours. So t will be the other variable. And we are gonna find the relationship between h and t. Let me draw a painting here really quickly. And then this is 20 centimeter tall. And it burns, so like it becomes shorter and shorter over time. And 2 centimeter per hour. So it burns and then it becomes like 2 centimeter shorter after 1 hour because it's like 2 centimeter per hour. So after an hour, it will be like 18 centimeters. What about after 2 hours? So like from here 2 hours, then obviously it will become 16 centimeters because it says it burns at a constant rate of 2 centimeters per hour. So you can just use this one, like when h equal 1, the height h when t is the time, and then when t equals 1, the height h equals 18. And then also when t equals 2, h equals 16. So we can find two coordinates here. This is like 118, this is like 216. So if you put all the coordinates, like those two coordinates, into like those like 4 choices, then you will find the answer. But actually that's not how you solve this problem. You should be able to derive this equation just from this explanation. Then how? If you know like these two coordinates, then it shouldn't be really difficult to find the equation. You can find the slope first. I would say, so slope rise over run. So 18 minus 16 over 1 minus 2. So it will be 2 over minus 1, it will be minus 2. And then you can just make an equation like so, minus 2x plus n. And then just put one of these coordinates in to this equation, 1 and 18. Then that's how you get n equals 20. So minus 2x plus 20. So 20 minus 2x. In this case, y represent h and t represent x. So that's how you get h equal 20 minus 2t.